In a vast jungle filled with towering trees and vibrant wildlife, a young elephant calf found herself wandering alone. Just days ago, she was happily playing with her family, enjoying the sunshine and the sounds of the jungle. But everything changed in an instant. A sudden and terrible event had shattered her world, leaving her adrift in a sea of confusion and sadness. The calf, whom the children later named Lily, no longer had her mother nearby to comfort her or her siblings to play with. Instead, she felt an overwhelming sense of loss. When her family was taken from her, fear gripped her heart. If you enjoy this video, please like the video and subscribe for more, and tell me where you are watching from today. I always find it awesome to see where all my viewers are watching from. Let's get back to the video. The sounds of the jungle turned from familiar whispers into haunting echoes that reminded her of the emptiness surrounding her. Lily's instinct was to seek safety. She felt exposed and vulnerable without her family, so she wandered away from the place she once called home. That was when she stumbled upon the small school on the edge of the jungle, its bright colors and cheerful laughter ringing out like a beacon of hope. Drawn to the noise and warmth, she moved closer, hoping for some comfort amidst her sorrow. As she approached the schoolyard, Lily hesitated at the edge of the trees, peeking out with curiosity. Her big ears flopped softly in the gentle breeze, and her dark eyes gleamed with uncertainty, but also a flicker of hope. The children inside were engaged in morning activities, completely unaware of the lonely calf just outside their playground. To them, the day was filled with joy, as they played games, shared stories, and explored their surroundings. With a deep breath, Lily stepped out into the open. The schoolyard was filled with laughter and play, sounds that tugged at something deep within her heart, a yearning for connection and warmth. As she wandered a little closer, she could hear their cheerful voices talking about their adventures and dreams. In that moment, she felt a strange mix of emotions: fear of the unknown and hope for companionship. The students were captivated by their new visitor as they caught sight of Lily in the grass. Their playful shouts turned to gasps of wonder as they watched this magnificent creature approach cautiously. Some giggled in delight, pointing at her soft gray skin and floppy trunk. Others stood frozen in awe, unsure of how to react. For Lily, even though she felt frightened by the sudden attention, there was also reassurance in their faces. No longer wandering alone among strangers, she sensed their innocence and kindness shining through the confusion that clouded her heart. The children slowly approached her with care and curiosity, each hoping to help this lost little creature feel safe once again. As they drew near, Lily's instincts took over. She tucked her trunk under her chin, instinctively, looking for comfort. Each child held their breath in anticipation, their eyes wide with wonder at this beautiful animal who had come to stand beside them in such a vulnerable moment. Feelings of compassion began to arise among the students as they realized that this sweet calf had lost everything dear to her. Conversations sprouted among them like flowers after rain. What should they do? How could they help Lily? Their young minds raced with ideas and ways to connect with her. No one knew exactly how long Lily would linger outside their school or what had happened to bring her there. But one thing was clear: she needed support as much as they needed to embrace friendship beyond just humans. With each soft rustle of leaves and gentle swaying of branches overhead, their bond began to grow. A connection fueled by the shared understanding of loneliness and longing. The school teachers soon noticed the commotion outside their windows. They joined in on the amazement, but quickly understood that this wasn't just an ordinary day at school. They had a chance to help nurture something unique, a compassionate friendship between children and a wild elephant calf. It begged for attention and care. As the bell rang for recess, it became clear that everyone wanted to create a safe space for Lily. The laugh-filled schoolyard transformed into a special site for friendship, where an unexpected visitor could rest and regain her strength with loving support from those who were determined to make a difference. Thus began Lily's journey among these children. A journey that would blossom into beautiful memories filled with laughter, care, and resilience. A captivating tale of trust, bridging between two worlds, theirs and hers. This precious encounter taught them all lessons about kindness that no classroom could ever impart. Lessons about compassion that moved in both directions as hearts opened wider than they had ever imagined possible. And little did everyone know how that fateful day would unfold into a remarkable story that would unite an entire community around a brave young elephant seeking shelter in an unexpected place. As the recess bell rang, the cheerful laughter of children echoed through the schoolyard. They spilled out of the classrooms like a burst of colorful confetti, ready to embrace their free time. However, this day would be unlike any other. As the children raced towards their favorite games and swings, an unexpected sight caught their attention. A young elephant calf, resting quietly under a shady tree just beyond the playground. For a moment, disbelief hung in the air. The children paused mid-step, eyes wide with astonishment. Whispers of, "Is that really an elephant?" floated around as they gathered closer, each trying to get a better look at this unusual visitor. It was a scene that seemed straight out of a storybook. Yet here it was, real and alive before their very eyes. Teachers began to notice the commotion outside their windows and peered out curiously. Their expressions quickly shifted from curiosity to concern as they comprehended what lay in front of them. The sight of a lone elephant calf was both mesmerizing and alarming. The principal rushed outside, calling for calm while assessing the situation. "Everyone, please stand back. We need to make sure she's safe," he instructed, his voice steady but urgent. Lily lay peacefully on the grass, her large ears flapping slightly in the warm breeze, but her dark eyes held a deep sadness that mirrored her loneliness. The teachers exchanged worried glances. What had happened to this young creature? More importantly, how could they protect her from harm? The students huddled together, sharing excited yet anxious whispers about what they should do next. Was it safe to approach her? Would she be scared? Some children expressed a strong urge to comfort Lily, while others worried about how she might react. The air was thick with uncertainty and excitement, a blend of childlike wonder and genuine concern for this lost little soul. After a few moments of hesitation, one brave student named Mia stepped forward. She was known among her classmates for her compassionate heart and fearless spirit. "We have to help her," she declared boldly, raising her chin with determination. "She needs us. Look how alone she is." Her words ignited a spark of courage in her friends, prompting them to take small steps forward together. With their hearts pounding in unison, they formed a loose circle around Lily, keeping an appropriate distance while still showing their interest and concern. Meanwhile, the teachers were busy assessing Lily's condition from afar. They worried about whether she was injured or if she needed food and water. One teacher suggested that they call local wildlife experts who could provide better guidance on how to care for such an extraordinary visitor. As discussions unfolded among the adults, Mia and her friends began to inch closer toward Lily, hoping their gentle presence would reassure her. They crouched down quietly and spoke softly amongst themselves about how beautiful she looked despite appearing sad and lonely. "Maybe we can bring her something to eat," another child suggested hesitantly, remembering how much fun it was to share snacks during lunch breaks. The idea sparked excitement among them as they brainstormed what foods elephants enjoy. Fruit, carrots, anything that would show Lily they cared. However, as they prepared to move towards the school building for supplies, one teacher intervened gently but firmly. "Let's not rush into anything just yet," he cautioned. "We need to ensure we're all safe first and that we approach her correctly." The children nodded in agreement, but couldn't help glancing back at Lily's sad eyes as if pleading for help. Each child felt a connection growing with her, an invisible thread weaving them together through shared emotions of empathy and kindness. Meanwhile, news about the unexpected visitor spread quickly throughout the school community. Teachers began making calls while parents were alerted about what was happening at school that day. Everyone understood that Lily represented more than just an animal seeking shelter. She symbolized an opportunity for compassion and understanding that could unite them all. With each passing minute, tension mixed with hope filled the air as everyone anticipated what could happen next. Discussions swirled around how best to care for Lily while keeping her safe from harm until expert help arrived. As they stood there amidst the commotion of excitement and anxiety surrounding Lily's presence, the students began recognizing an important truth. Sometimes, when faced with something truly unexpected or even frightening, people can come together in ways they never thought possible. And so began an unfolding story, not just of one little elephant, but also of a school community discovering how powerful kindness can be when it reaches beyond boundaries and differences. An adventure that would change them all forever in ways they could not yet imagine. As the buzz of excitement simmered in the air, the children gathered in a small huddle, their eyes glued to Lily, the elephant calf now resting under the shade. Whispers floated around, each child eager to express their thoughts and ideas about how they could help her. It was clear to everyone that Lily needed comfort, and their instinct to care for her ignited an energy that filled the playground. "Look how sad she is," said Mia, her voice edged with empathy. "She must be really scared and lonely without her family." The other kids nodded in agreement, expressing concern for the little elephant who had wandered into their world. It was shocking to see such a magnificent creature so vulnerable. "What if we could bring her some food?" proposed Alex, pointing eagerly at the snacks from his lunchbox still tucked safely in his bag. "They eat fruits and veggies, right? We could bring her some apples or carrots." His suggestion spurred their imaginations. Suddenly, even the shyest students began sharing ideas, feeling empowered by the possibility of making a difference. "I have some bananas," shouted Lucy, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "We could mash them up to make it easier for her to eat." She loved the idea of showing kindness through food. The thought of helping Lily feel cared for instead of frightened made her heart swell. Jake chimed in, "And we should bring her some water too. She's probably thirsty after all that wandering." The children collectively agreed that fresh water was essential, and that finding ways to comfort Lily in this strange place would be their mission. "Maybe we can make her a cozy spot using blankets," suggested Maya. "It would help her feel more at home." The children imagined piling soft fabric near where she lay, under the tree, creating a safe little area where she could rest without fear. Each idea built upon the last, forming a web of compassion that seemed to draw them closer together as friends. As the group brainstormed enthusiastically, they also spoke softly about how important it was to keep their distance until they understood Lily's feelings better. "We don't want to frighten her," Mia reminded everyone gently. "Let's approach slowly when we're ready." "I'll go first," proclaimed Alex bravely, surprising even himself. The notion that he could help a creature so much larger than him excited him, but also made him a little nervous. The others nodded encouragingly, rallying behind him in support. The teachers watched from a distance, their admiration growing as they observed this compassionate display among the students. They marveled at how quickly these young children had not only recognized Lily's despair, but had also rallied together with creative ideas, reflecting genuine empathy. Meanwhile, there was an undeniable connection growing between Lily and the children. Even from afar, they sensed her vulnerability and sadness through her large, expressive eyes and floppy ears that occasionally perked up as she listened to their chattering voices. A silent understanding passed between them. Both sides were learning about comfort and companionship in this shared moment. Feeling inspired by their collective empathy, Mia suggested they share their plan with the teachers. "They can help us organize everything and keep us safe," she proposed confidently. The children agreed that reaching out for assistance was crucial as well. After all, bringing food and care might require adult supervision to ensure everything went smoothly. When they approached their teachers again to discuss how they could help Lily properly, excitement buzzed through their small crowd like electricity. "We want to bring her food and water," Mia explained earnestly, emphasizing how much they cared about this lost calf. The teachers exchanged glances before one of them smiled softly and said, "That's a wonderful idea. But we have to make sure we contact wildlife experts before feeding her anything." There was an understanding that kindness had to be paired with knowledge to truly benefit Lily in her time of need. Undeterred by this minor setback, the children began working on signs displaying information about elephants so they could better understand Lily's needs. They learned interesting facts together. Elephants are social animals that rely on family bonds. They communicate through sound and touch, and they love fruit. The shared learning experience deepened their connection, solidifying both their intent to help and their commitment to understanding this magnificent creature. As part of this unfolding adventure, each child felt moved by Lily's story, an unspoken bond knitting them together through shared moments of vulnerability and camaraderie. They knew they were united in discovering compassion that transcended species. It didn't matter that Lily was different from them because kindness had no boundaries. Ultimately, these moments of brainstorming and planning became much more than just another recess. They shaped an incredible journey towards hope. A reflection of humanity itself revealed within these children's open hearts, eager to make a difference for a lost soul seeking shelter amongst them. Their unity transformed what had started as mere curiosity into a powerful force for change that dared to show how loving kindness can reach far beyond expectations, to touch lives in ways never imagined before. With their ideas for helping Lily swirling through their minds, the children felt an overwhelming sense of responsibility. They knew they needed to take action quickly to ensure that Lily was safe and cared for properly. As they stood around her, discussing how best to proceed, they understood that this wasn't just about feeding her or providing comfort. It was also about getting the right help from people who knew how to care for wildlife. "Mia, what do you think we should do next?" Alex asked, eager to keep the momentum going. The other kids looked at her expectantly, their faces bright with determination. Mia took a deep breath and replied, "I think we need to talk to some adults who know what they're doing. We can't just feed her without knowing if it's safe for her." The group nodded in agreement. They all wanted to help but realized that calling in experts would be essential. "I heard my dad mention a wildlife rescue center," exclaimed Lucy excitedly. "They might have someone who can help us understand what Lily needs." Her enthusiasm sparked a wave of discussions as the children began sharing information about local wildlife experts they had heard of through their parents or community events. "Let's write down the names and numbers of these places," suggested Jake, keen on making sure they didn't overlook anything important. With that, he pulled out a small notebook he always carried in his backpack and began jotting down details while others chimed in with suggestions. As they compiled their list, Mia took charge again, urging them to focus. "Okay, let's choose someone who can call these experts," she proposed. "An adult will sound better on the phone than we would." After some brainstorming, they decided that Ms. Thompson, their favorite science teacher who loved animals and taught them about ecology, would be the perfect person to reach out for help. She knows so much about wildlife, and she'll definitely want to help Lily, Mia declared confidently. The children agreed enthusiastically and made plans to approach Ms. Thompson right after recess. They felt a thrill at the thought of collaborating with an adult who shared their excitement for helping animals. With this plan solidified, they turned back to Lily, imagining what it might be like when experts arrived to assist. While waiting for recess to end, the students chatted amongst themselves about what might happen next. "What if she doesn't want us near her?" asked Maya quietly, a hint of concern crossing her face. "We'll take it slow," Mia reassured her friend. "We have time before anyone arrives. We just need to show her we care." The other children nodded, feeling a sense of unity in their mission and determined not to rush into anything that might scare Lily further. Finally, the bell rang again, signaling that recess was over. The students filed back into class, but soon found themselves bursting with excitement as they approached Miss Thompson during morning announcements. "Miss Thompson, can we talk to you about something really important?" Mia called out as she waved frantically for attention. Miss Thompson smiled warmly at the group gathered around her desk after the announcements concluded. "Of course. What's going on?" she asked curiously. The children quickly explained their discovery of Lily resting near the school and how they wanted to provide care while ensuring she was safe and properly supported by professionals who knew how to help wild animals. "That's an incredible thing you're all doing," Ms. Thompson responded enthusiastically as she listened intently. "You care deeply about Lily's well-being." Mia stepped forward nervously, but determinedly continued explaining their plan. Contacting local wildlife experts who could assess Lily's condition and guide them on how best to take care of her until professionals could intervene. "I can make those calls for you," Ms. Thompson offered eagerly once she understood the situation fully. The students cheered loudly at this news. It felt great knowing an adult who understood their compassion would step in where needed. Together with Ms. Thompson by their side, they listened carefully as she made calls while standing near the classroom phone. A small but effective way for them all to stay connected, even when waiting patiently outside with Lily. When Ms. Thompson finally finalized arrangements with a nearby wildlife rescue center known for taking care of elephants in distress, everyone felt relieved and hopeful at once. An expert would be on site soon. "Okay, team," Ms. Thompson said, after hanging up the phone with a satisfied grin on her face. "The rescue team will be here within an hour. Until then, let's think about creating a calm environment for Lily." With renewed energy filling them once more after hearing such good news, every child decided now was also a great time to prepare the area where Lily lay beneath the trees, gently clearing branches and making sure there were no distractions nearby, while still keeping distance until it was appropriate for everyone involved. As preparations unfolded around them, with laughter echoing off walls filled with determination and teamwork, an extraordinary bond began forming between students united by compassion, each member playing an integral role in caring for this remarkable little calf, roaming closer towards safety day by day. This journey had transformed into something bigger than any one individual. It became synonymous with trust building throughout every heart present, inspiring kindness, not only towards animals, yet also bridging friendships among peers learning together just how powerful collective efforts could be when fueled by empathy alone. As the students awaited the arrival of the wildlife rescue team, an air of determination filled the schoolyard. Mia, Lucy, Jake, Maya, and their classmates understood that they needed to create a safe space for Lily. The goal was not only to keep her comfortable, but also to ensure that she felt secure in her temporary sanctuary until expert help arrived. "Let's make sure she has a nice area to rest and feel safe," Mia suggested, directing her classmates with enthusiasm. "We need to keep distractions away from her." The others nodded in agreement, ready to jump into action. They began brainstorming how they could set up barriers to create a clearly defined safe zone. "What about using those soft mats from the gym?" Lucy suggested. The idea was met with nods of approval. Mats would provide a comfortable surface for Lily to lie on and could help reduce any noise or chaos around her. With that decision made, they quickly split into groups. Some students headed inside the school to gather mats, while others cleared the area around Lily, ensuring there were no sharp objects or distractions nearby. They worked together like a well-oiled machine, driven by excitement and purpose. As Jake and Maya carried the mats outside, Alex took the lead on organizing a little team of helpers to set up temporary barriers with cones from the sports equipment shed. "Let's make a big circle around where Lily is lying," he instructed, arranging cones in a way that would keep curious onlookers at a distance, while still allowing everyone nearby to observe without approaching too closely. Working together, they placed the mats down gently and created a cozy spot along with a small shaded area formed by several large umbrellas they borrowed from nearby tables. The aim was not only to shield Lily from the sun, but also to provide her with an inviting place where she could feel secure. "Let's put some fresh water in here too," shouted Lucy as she ran toward the school fountain, filling a large bucket with water. Once it was filled, she carefully carried it back to Lily's temporary sanctuary. "This way, she can drink whenever she wants." "Great idea," Mia said enthusiastically as she helped set the bucket securely within reach of where Lily lay. It's important for her to stay hydrated. Meanwhile, the teachers watched amazed at how quickly and effectively their students were taking charge, showing both leadership and compassion. Mrs. Thompson stepped forward with her phone still in hand after making initial arrangements with wildlife experts. "You're doing an incredible job," she praised them. "Just remember that we must stay calm and give Lily space to adjust." The students nodded solemnly, understanding the importance of keeping their energy peaceful for their unexpected visitor. They knew that vibrations of excitement could either comfort or disturb her. Once their makeshift sanctuary was set up, they took time to step back and observe Lily quietly resting under the shade of the trees they had placed nearby. With everything arranged thoughtfully around her, she seemed more at ease, her large ears flicking gently as she took in the environment. "I think we did good," Alex said softly as they all gathered together to admire their work. "She looks more comfortable now." The children took pride in knowing that they had created a protective zone for this precious calf, allowing her peace in an unfamiliar world. Just then, one of the teachers noticed something shimmering in the grass beyond Lily's area. A large piece of fabric that had fallen off when they were setting up. "Wait, we should use this blanket." She lifted it high above her head so everyone could see it clearly. "What a great idea," Mia exclaimed, clapping her hands together. They all rushed over as one group to take hold of the blanket and carefully spread it out beneath one of the trees near Lily's spot. The luscious fabric added another layer of comfort to her makeshift home and would shield her further from any unexpected elements. With everything settled and prepared for Lily's comfort, anticipation grew about when help would arrive. As they waited patiently, Mia gathered everyone around for a quick reflection. I'm so proud of us. Together we've made a safe place for her where she can feel less scared, Lucy added thoughtfully. And we learned how important it is to care for animals like her properly. The camaraderie among them deepened as they shared their mutual concerns for Lily's well-being while feeling empowered by their efforts as a group. Finally, after what felt like both an eternity and merely moments later, they heard vehicle engines rumble in the distance, an unmistakable signal that help was finally on its way. The children's hearts raced with excitement as they saw a van pull up and two wildlife experts step out, equipped with supplies and tools designed specifically for caring for animals in distress. As the experts approached cautiously towards Lily's protective zone, all eyes turned eagerly towards them, the result of their combined teamwork shining brightly in that very moment. It was a testament to their kindness and commitment toward helping someone in need. Together, they had transformed an ordinary schoolyard into an extraordinary sanctuary, where love bridged across species, an incredible reflection of compassion brought forth through their organized efforts. And now all they needed was for Lily to embrace it fully as she awaited further support from those who truly understood what it meant to care for wild creatures gently but surely. The days that followed Lily's arrival at the school turned into a beautiful tapestry woven with moments of joy, compassion, and connection. Each morning, as the sun broke through the trees, the children excitedly gathered their prepared offerings for Lily. They entered their classrooms buzzed with energy, knowing they would spend time with their new friend soon. Mia, Lucy, Jake, and Maya formed a small group dubbed the Lily Crew. They took it upon themselves to ensure that they brought Lily her favorite snacks, carefully selecting fruits and vegetables each day. Their routine became simple, yet meaningful. During their lunch breaks, they would pop into the sanctuary they had created for her. As they approached the wooded area where Lily rested, the excitement in their hearts bubbled over. They carried buckets filled with freshly cut apples, bananas, and carrots. That sense of anticipation was palpable as they carefully made their way past the cones and mats, allowing Lily to see them coming. "Hello, Lily. We've brought you some goodies," Mia called out warmly as they entered her space. The little calf perked up at the sound of familiar voices and turned her head, her big dark eyes lighting up momentarily at their arrival. It was as if she recognized them, these children who had given her comfort during such a confusing time. The kids giggled with delight when they saw her ears flapping in excitement. Lucy knelt down and held out a piece of apple to Lily's trunk. "Here you go. It's your favorite," she encouraged her softly. Almost instantly, Lily reached out with her trunk, gently taking the piece from Lucy's hand. The feeling was magical. Every child felt a warm glow of happiness witnessing that connection. Each visit brought opportunities to learn more about Lily's habits and behaviors by simply observing her interactions with them. On one sweet occasion, Jake sat quietly beside her while munching on his own apple. He couldn't believe how serene it felt to share a moment like this with such a gentle giant. "I think she loves apples just as much as we do," he whispered to Mia and Maya, who nodded approvingly. In addition to bringing food, the children often spent time talking soft words of encouragement to Lily. "You are safe now," said Maya gently while stroking the soft skin on her flank. "We will take care of you." Each reassuring sentence helped to amplify the bond forming between them. Lily seemed less anxious with every interaction. There were moments filled with laughter when Lily playfully tossed small branches in their direction or engaged with a bucket they had left nearby. One time, Mia bounced a pumpkin ball toward her. Instead of backing away in fear, Lily carefully picked it up with her trunk and nudged it back toward them as if she wanted to join in on their fun. The children erupted in cheers and laughter, thrilled that Lily felt comfortable enough to play. On several occasions, they even organized a mini Lily Day around their lunch hour, where everyone from school was invited to observe her from a distance, while keeping things quiet and calm. An initiative that illustrated how important their gentle and caring actions were. Their goal was not only to raise awareness about Lily, but also to educate others about elephants. As news spread throughout school about their dedication to caring for this young calf, more students began stopping by to see Lily during lunch. They stood in awe of her size while still being respectful of her space. Some brought in new treats like fresh hay or more fruits from home, gifts wrapped in paper scavenged from backpacks, a testament to community spirit blooming around this shared mission. Every visit added another layer to their growing relationship with Lily. It was clear each child cherished these precious moments spent together under the forest canopy. With kindness as their guide, they respected her feelings while creating a bond that seemed truly unique. Yet it wasn't just about feeding or watching. It was about connection. A simple reminder for all involved how important it is to show love even without words spoken aloud. Whether through nourishing food or gentle touch, they learned the value of patience, understanding that true companionship builds steadily over time, like branches intertwining high above them in a majestic tree. Days melted into weeks, blending joyful memories with an unexpected friendship built from shared trust and compassion throughout school grounds. All because one lonely elephant calf had found solace within them, a cornerstone budding between different lives, intertwined harmoniously under similar stars. Each encounter inspired smiles long after hours spent together came to an end. The swirling playfulness continued like a vibrant breeze even when classes resumed. What started merely as concern morphed into cherished experiences, teaching invaluable lessons about empathy, both toward animals around us as well as toward those caring for one another without hesitation across barriers ever thought insurmountable before. The anticipation in the schoolyard grew as the children huddled near Lily's sanctuary, eagerly awaiting the arrival of the wildlife experts. Each day, they had poured their hearts into caring for the young elephant calf. And now, it was time for the specialists to assess her condition and provide further guidance on how to ensure her health and well-being. Finally, after what felt like hours but was really just a short wait, a van pulled up, clearly marked with the emblem of a wildlife rescue organization. The excitement among the students was palpable as they saw two professionals step out, both wearing khaki uniforms adorned with pockets filled with various tools and equipment essential for animal care. The kids rushed forward, eyes gleaming with hope. "Stay calm," Ms. Thompson reminded them gently, guiding them to maintain a respectful distance as the experts approached Lily's area. The team of wildlife specialists introduced themselves, Dr. Amy and Mr. Lee, and exchanged friendly smiles with the children, acknowledging their efforts in caring for Lily so far. Dr. Amy kneeled down to observe Lily closely while Mr. Lee began unpacking various supplies from their van. "You've done a wonderful job creating such a safe space for her," Dr. Amy complimented the children as she noted how comfortable and secure Lily appeared in her makeshift sanctuary. "Now let's take a closer look at our little friend." With careful movements, Dr. Amy reached out slowly toward Lily, allowing her to become accustomed to their presence before performing an initial examination. The children watched intently as she gently checked Lily's ears, mouth, and skin for any signs of distress or injury that might require immediate attention. "She looks good. Just a bit scared," Dr. Amy reassured everyone after completing her inspection. "It seems like she has been well taken care of during her time here." The students felt a wave of relief wash over them. Their hard work had truly paid off. While Dr. Amy assessed Lily's health, Mr. Lee took notes about how much water she had been drinking and which foods she seemed to prefer during previous visits from the Lily crew. He observed closely when Mia brought out an apple slice from her bag, a familiar treat that always lit up Lily's face. Apples are definitely a favorite. Mr. Lee chuckled as the calf eagerly accepted more food offered by eager hands. After consulting with one another for a few minutes, Dr. Amy stood up with a thoughtful expression on her face. Given her age and all that she's been through recently, we'll need to create a proper plan for her care moving forward. She explained that it would be best if they transported Lily back to the rescue center where she could receive consistent medical support and interaction from trained caregivers who could help monitor her recovery. "Will she be okay?" asked Maya, voice tinged with worry as she stepped forward slightly. "Yes," Dr. Amy replied reassuringly. "But this transition is important for her long-term health." She explained that while Lily had formed great bonds here and had received loving attention from all of them, a dedicated facility specifically designed for elephants would provide essential enrichment activities necessary for healing emotionally and physically. Mr. Lee continued sharing information about what kind of shelter would suit Lily best at the center. One equipped with access to spacious enclosures, allowing her ample room to roam freely while also having opportunities for socializing with other elephants in need of companionship. As they discussed logistics surrounding transportation safely without causing too much stress for Lily, Mia raised her hand tentatively again. "Can we come visit her? Will we still be able to see Lily once she moves?" Dr. Amy smiled warmly at Mia's concern and nodded affirmatively. "Of course, our center values community involvement, especially when it comes to educational experiences about wildlife care. They encourage school groups like theirs to come visit so they could continue learning about elephants while also staying connected with those who care deeply for them, like this special calf would forever represent in their hearts." With plans underway, set into motion, carefully monitored every step of the way, the students felt elated not just by assuring herself, but also knowing they would have chances ahead, spending precious time alongside others at wildlife facilities, learned exactly how these animals thrive through understanding compassionate connections made possible together as caretakers who cherished living beings. As preparations began for Lily's journey back home, to an environment designed specifically for rehabilitation, the children collected around patiently waiting while soothing words filled spaces left behind. Empty where laughter once echoed among trees, punctuated by fresh leaves, moved gently high above, under shimmering sunlight shining brightly down upon each heart present. Passionate believing, together true compassion lasts forever. Banishing loneliness across barriers made strongest through friendship, blooming alongside every touch, shared softly reflected beauty, seen between lives, intertwined harmoniously, touched deeply amidst vast skies, above witnessing love, reach further than imagined ever thought possible. As the wildlife experts prepared to transport Lily to the rescue center, the students gathered together, their hearts full of mixed emotions. Relief that she would receive proper care, sadness at her departure, and pride in the journey they had undertaken as a community. This experience had transformed into a profound teaching moment for everyone involved, providing valuable lessons about compassion, teamwork, and responsibility toward wildlife. In the days leading up to Lily's departure, Miss Thompson organized a special assembly for the students to reflect on their experiences. "Today we'll share what we've learned," she announced to the eager faces before her. "What has caring for Lily taught you about kindness and working together?" Hands shot up around the room as students were excited to contribute. Mia spoke first, her voice steady with insight. "I learned that even small acts of kindness can make a big difference. Just bringing her food made me feel connected to her. Her words resonated deeply with her classmates, reinforcing how each contribution mattered. Lucy added thoughtfully, "It was amazing to see how all of us came together as the Lily crew. We didn't just care for an animal, we became a team." The sense of unity they had cultivated during those days shone through their reflections, illustrating how collective efforts could change lives. Jake chimed in too. "We also learned that it's important to respect wild animals. They have feelings just like us. I never thought about how scared Lily must have felt without her family." This recognition emphasized the responsibilities humans have towards wildlife, an understanding that would stay with them long after this experience ended. As they shared stories and lessons learned, the adults in attendance, including teachers and parents, listened intently. Many had observed the children's dedication from afar, but were moved by how deeply impacted they had been by this gentle giant who sought comfort among them. Afterwards, Ms. Thompson posed another question. "How can we continue to support wildlife like Lily once she leaves?" This spurred vibrant discussions among students about ways to raise awareness beyond school grounds. "Maybe we can create signs about caring for elephants," suggested Maya enthusiastically. "We could tell people not to disturb them if they see one." Another student proposed starting a fundraising event where proceeds could go toward wildlife rescue centers so more animals could receive care like Lily did. Excitement bubbled over at these ideas. They realized they could expand their impact even further into their community and beyond. As plans began taking shape, it became clear that this experience was not just an isolated incident, but rather a catalyst for change that sparked curiosity about animal welfare and environmental stewardship among all involved. In the weeks following Lily's departure, students took charge of various initiatives aimed at protecting local wildlife habitats while fostering community engagement through educational events centered on compassion towards animals. Each effort reminded them of their bond with Lily and reinforced values like kindness and teamwork in every aspect of life. Whether in school or at home, outside of school walls too, families independently began discussing keeping shared spaces clean and respecting nature with newfound appreciation inspired by their children's involvement in caring for an elephant calf. Additionally, Ms. Thompson arranged field trips to local wildlife reserves, where students could observe animals in a safe environment, while learning from expert guides about conservation efforts taking place in their area. A chance for them to witness firsthand how crucial it is to maintain healthy ecosystems. This nurturing spirit radiated far beyond just caring for one elephant. It reminds everyone involved how interconnected life is. Each action leads back to a ripple effect, extending outward, touching communities at large. Ultimately, what began merely as a compassionate response turned into an inspiring journey filled with lessons embedded deep within young hearts, willing enough embracing responsibility toward creatures sharing this world. Alongside them, beautifully intertwined across barriers once thought unbridgeable. Through this shared mission, involving adventures sparked by simple acts of love, the children not only uplifted themselves, but also those around them, learning invaluable insights. True compassion means understanding someone's needs, whether human or animal, and embracing teamwork builds connections stronger than anything imaginable. Together, they illuminated paths leading toward empathy, thriving brilliantly amidst challenges past, present, future, yet unknown. As word spread about Lily's story, communities beyond the school began to take notice and get involved. Local newspapers picked up the tale of the brave calf who found refuge among children who genuinely cared for her well-being. Suddenly, the small school and its students became symbols of compassion and action, inspiring others to join in their mission for animal welfare. At first, it was just a few families who came together to see how they could help. They were moved by the dedication shown by the children and wanted to contribute in any way possible. A local animal rights organization reached out to Ms. Thompson, expressing admiration for the children's efforts and offering resources for educational programs centered around wildlife conservation. Before long, other schools in the district caught wind of Lily's journey, echoing its impact within their hallways as students discussed ways they could also support animals in need. They organized meetings where students brainstormed ideas on how to raise awareness about wildlife preservation. Inspired by these discussions, Mia's group took the lead and decided to host a community event called Lily Day. It would be a fun-filled day at the park, with activities designed to educate families about elephants and other wildlife, while spreading awareness about protecting their habitats. They planned games, informational booths staffed by local wildlife experts, and even art stations where kids could create posters promoting kindness toward animals. The event garnered attention not just among families from their school, but also from surrounding neighborhoods. Local businesses contributed prizes for games, while bakeries donated treats for attendees. Excitement filled the air as more people joined in to make Lily Day a colorful celebration of compassion, a chance to reinforce values that had ignited from caring for one sweet elephant calf. On the day of the event, laughter echoed throughout the park as families participated in various activities. Balloon animals crafted in Lily's likeness dotted picnic tables surrounded by smiling faces. Adults engaged with children at booths, learning heartwarming facts about elephants' social structures and needs. Volunteers shared stories about Lily's impact on their lives. Her presence extended far beyond being just an animal needing help. It became a symbol of hope that resonated through every corner touched by her story. Maya stood proudly at a booth where children were painting wooden elephant cutouts in vibrant colors. She watched them giggle as they painted giant ears or wiggly trunks. Each stroke represented newfound understanding. They were learning important lessons about empathy through artful expression sparked directly from one experience, shaped into many hearts, eager enough embracing responsibility toward animals, sharing this world alongside them. Meanwhile, Lucy led a discussion session focused on endangered species like elephants faced with habitat loss due to human activity. Students learned how small actions, like reducing plastic use or participating in local cleanup events, could contribute significantly toward protecting wildlife habitats. As parents listened attentively alongside their children, absorbing key lessons being shared throughout Lily Day, connections blossomed among members present that day. They not only learned together, but formed friendships grounded in purpose. By setting up initiatives such as these, all started from what began merely as concern over one young elephant, the compassionate spirit rooted within. That school continued blossoming outward, embracing many others, eager enough. Realizing loving efforts have tremendous potential when fueled collectively. In time, the Lily Crew expanded beyond just Mia's core group of friends. Students who had once been shy started stepping forward wanting involvement as well. Ideas flourished like wildflowers, each child inspired becoming advocates within schools far beyond theirs, sharing newfound knowledge, further raising awareness of animal welfare throughout entire communities, creating lasting change together. As months went on, more organizations connected with those passionate voices, growing louder each month, echoing sentiment felt toward creatures needing support, including elephants experiencing loss, similar to what Lily had endured not long ago, serving instead guiding light, illuminating paths toward brighter futures built upon compassion rooted firmly deep, ready standing strong against adversity, rising brighter than ever before. Through Lily's journey, transforming lives forevermore, their community came together, discovering new relationships wrapped around shared interest, caring deeply toward all living beings, teaching important lessons, paving more meaningful connections, evolving constantly, boundless courage anchored firmly within hearts. willing enough embrace responsibility together, forging ahead, united linking souls across barriers perceived unbridgeable. Thus reminding everyone woven tightly, still interconnected, along this remarkable journey, collectively shaping better world, awaiting brighter days ahead. As the sun began to set on a journey filled with compassion and connection, it was clear that Lily's arrival had sparked something profound within the hearts of those who cared for her. This experience transcended the initial shock and worry that came with finding a young elephant calf seeking shelter. It blossomed into an enduring understanding of the significance of kindness and empathy toward animals and the environment surrounding them. The bond forged between Lily and the children served as a powerful reminder of how one small act can create ripples of change. Much like throwing a stone into a still pond and watching the waves spread outward. It all began with Mia, who became the catalyst for this incredible journey. Her instinct to help a lost creature resonated throughout the school, igniting passion within her classmates and encouraging them to take action in caring for Lily. Watching the students pour their hearts into every visit revealed a genuine transformation. They learned not only how to care for an animal, but also how to express compassion, share responsibilities, and work together. All valuable life skills that would follow them long beyond their time at school. It was a remarkable growth experience for everyone involved as they embraced their roles in nurturing both Lily and each other. The impact of their efforts rippled far beyond the schoolyard. Local families engaged in discussions about wildlife preservation at home, while community leaders recognized the importance of integrating animal welfare into educational programs. Lily Day became more than just an event. It morphed into a movement that united individuals from all walks of life around a shared goal of promoting kindness toward animals. As people gathered in celebration, innocent enjoyment transformed into passionate advocacy as newfound advocates stepped forward to become stewards of wildlife, each driven by the heartwarming story of a calf who had touched their lives. This commitment persisted in interactions well after Lily's departure to the rescue center, inspiring local initiatives focused on conservation efforts. Students launched campaigns that encouraged mindful living by reducing plastic waste and supporting local wildlife habitats through planting initiatives and park cleanups. Each action echoed back to Lily, reminding them that her story was not just about one elephant calf, but rather about a greater responsibility they all held toward protecting vulnerable creatures who share their world. Even more impactful was the way these experiences fostered relationships within the community. Families began building connections over shared interests, collaborating on projects geared toward raising awareness and fostering a collective responsibility to care for animals in need. Conversations sparked between friends, neighbors, and fellow students. Barriers once considered unbridgeable dissolved in the warmth of shared purpose. Teachers also benefited from renewed perspectives. Many schools began implementing lesson plans centered on animal welfare, inspired by the dedication displayed by Mia and her classmates. Educators were motivated to introduce students not only to theories of compassion, but also to active engagement that encompassed ethics surrounding animal care. At its heart, this journey emphasized invaluable lessons that transcended academia. Empathy is cultivated through action. Teamwork nurtures friendships, and compassion must extend beyond species lineages if we wish to foster understanding among different beings inhabiting our planet together. Lily's journey evoked conversations about conservation that were long overdue. Each child who participated became ambassadors for change, rather than passive spectators observing nature from afar. They emerged with eyes opened wide in appreciation for beauty surrounding them, the kind that fueled a desire to contribute positively to ecosystems around them through inspiring actions helping animals thrive rather than merely surviving. Years down the road, these students would likely remember not just the events surrounding Lily, but also how they had felt part of something larger than themselves. A shared understanding, woven tightly through threads made from kindness, exhibited daily, spilling outward throughout lives together, continuously shape world awaiting brighter days ahead, where every creature mattered deeply, guided by hands steadily holding firmly over hearts, willing embrace love, growing boundless alongside adventures awaiting unfolding wondrously anew upon paths laid forward, blurring lines, once thought unmovable, transforming lives, endlessly connected, cradling beauty, discovered firmly rooted dreams, hoping spark light, brightening dark oceans, still clinging, closely laughing, spread joyously once seated together, knowing strength thrives when united.